Some people say your music played a role in this. Like I've seen them, cite lyrics, that encourage this kind of behavior. I've seen them say your music is demonic and this was a satanic ritual. Do you think your music is to blame?
I mean, no. I'm a man of God, so that's the first thing first, and so it's just, yeah, that's that. And your music is just like self-expression. You know what I'm saying? And at these shows, I feel like people kind of like look at things, and if you've been to a Travis show, it's been different layers of shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are just misconceptions and taking things they're seeing, and all type of things. And I've took pride in trying to grow from where I was when I first recorded music to now where I'm going in music. So yeah, I just think people gotta, and that's one thing with me is just people gotta kind of, experience it sometimes. And I think that's what it was. People were kind of like, even before, people were hearing about it, they come and experience it and taking away their own thing. And it's always gonna be an outside opinion. But, for the ones that, really believe in me and, understand what I'm about and what I'm doing, no, that's not what I'm, preaching. I always preach like love, always preach understanding, always preach, take care of your loved ones, love each other, you know what I'm saying? Get out your ideas, never let yourselves be stopped,
Look, I feel like that might have been an instance that the answer maybe had been kind of tailored or discussed with his attorney ahead of time, because I feel like he should just take ownership of his art. Legal liability and what he creates as an artist typically are separate things, but the question was, do you feel like your words, right, the energy in your music maybe, is it contributing to kind of the mindset of your fans? And I think, if he has some kind of imagery that he likes to present, some kind of lyrical content, even if it is violent, even if it is, let's say, politically charged, or if it is spiritual or about good and evil, I mean, these are themes that we've seen come up as people are thinking, maybe this was planned and that there's something demonic going on here. So setting that aside, I think if he just took ownership of his art and he says, look, what I promote is love and caring and, to his own words, that's okay. But I think it's also okay for him to take ownership of his art and to say, as an artist, I like to create. And as a man of God, whatever that God is, I want to just kind of, look at good and evil. And so these are things that might appear in my music. But of course, I wouldn't want my fans to be hurt. Of course, I wouldn't want them to come to my show and, die. So, I think he definitely sidestepped that question by just saying, no, that's not what I'm about at all. That's probably not the case, in especially the lyrics of his music.
Love one another and step into that,
I think that's a part of it, but the music does encourage people to be violent at these shows.
I mean,
that's what the rage is about.
Most of the music is me sometimes talking about what I see at the shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I'm talking about the shows, and so that's just, the energy, you know what I'm saying? But the energy isn't to come and start, being ultra violent and just being violent and hurting each other. That's not what it's about.
So it's more so supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah, everything is, and it's about what you experience at the shows and what you see,
Will this change the content of your music moving forward, you think?
What happened here wasn't off Travis Scott music.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't, oh, now you need to like switch up. No, I've made all different type of music in the first place, I've never was just like one lane or one genre of anything in the first place. So I just think it's all about experiences, and I feel like, it could be music to come out of it. Lyricism, just emotion. Music is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And music is healing. And you can just find healing and find emotion, in that,
Well, Well, not all music is healing, right? I agree with him as far as music is emotion. I think that's a good point. So it's a moment of expression, and he's expressed himself in many kind of ways. I feel like Charlamagne kind of called him on it a second ago, and he's like, well, your lyrics literally are kind of telling them to come rage at your shows. Wouldn't you agree? And again, he sidestepped it. Again, I think it would probably be okay if he said, for example, if he was like a heavy metal, or in a heavy metal band, and to the extent people come and mosh at the show and they might get hurt, there's a certain culture, there's a certain energy that's promoted by an artist, including like Travis Scott. And so that's basically the point of Charlamagne's question, right? The culture of the shows that you put on, plus the kind of vibe of your music, don't you think that maybe that kind of contributes? And I feel like the very lawyer-tailored answer that we're getting here is no, of course not. That would never happen.
Just more progressive. Everything I'm trying to do is just more progressive.
You said you're a man of God, and when I even said that, they say your music is satanic, I saw the face that you made. Where do you think that even comes from? Travis Scott is satanic, Travis Scott is demonic.
I just think it's just things people collect. People look at the internet and they just collect, and they look at things and they look at visuals, and you have all these theorists and people just thinking they're looking at visuals and don't understand, just the idea of like what art may be or what you're trying to do. They're just making up your own message, especially when you're not out there like yelling the message all the time. It's just, yeah.
And when they say this is a community event, Astroworld.
Yeah,
so they say a community event is a satanic ritual. How does that?
Yeah, that's like
feel?
It's crazy because it's like I do this for people to have a good time. We have rides, we have games. It's things for people to get off creative experiences. It's not the show is at the end of the day. It's like and that show is just something based on what's just things. It's not like. What? Like, why would we wake up one day and just trying to, that's just evil is not what we're a part of. We're not trying to be a part of that. We're trying to be a part of joy. We're trying to be a part of light. We're trying to be a part of full-blown happiness, love, understanding, people taking care of each other, community, people to leave from these experiences and want to go out and do good. That's literally what we want. We want to show them these things, We put everything into this festival, this is our third year, so we try to put, every year we put everything into the festival so people can enjoy it. It's not about just come perform. It's things for them to do all day. And different artists for them to experience too.